Here we are on video 5 or live stream 5 of the Creative Mavericks program, and just waiting for people to join. So if you're watching the recording, welcome. And today I just want to give a kind of step-by-step process for doing your marketing, because there's so many options and so many choices, and there's been a lot of information and a lot of big shifts actually already in this group. So I just wanted to do something today that's really kind of anchoring. And I will be talking about a bit of, hi Carol, we'll be talking about a bit of magic and logic today with the marketing. And it's a way to really, good morning. We haven't done register yet, but we will. It's a way of really getting tapped into a simple process that you can follow, because marketing can be really overwhelming, and I get that. So actually it's 12:01. I don't know what I'm going to do with the register today, because I always do these blimmin' live streams at 12 o'clock. So it's afternoon. So good afternoon, Creative Mavericks. We're doing the register now. So yeah, so we're going to talk a bit about big kiss marketing. We're going to talk about step-by-step processes and really having just really simple steps to follow, which has revolutionized my marketing and made that I do far less different activities. Actually, I still show up and I still do work, but I don't have to put the time in that I used to do, and my systems are quite efficient. So if you haven't, good morning, afternoon, good afternoon, oh, good afternoon. So if you haven't got efficient systems yet, don't panic, we will get them set up. And I keep reminding myself and you guys that this is a 6-month program, and we're only on like day 10, which is incredible really, because everybody's having ahas, everybody's having big shifts. Good afternoon, good afternoon. And I've just had an amazing email through from Carol B, so thank you for that, Carol. It's always nice to know that we're having an impact with what we do, and Carol's had a massive shift in our has, which she's going to share a little bit of in the group a bit later on, so that would be really good for other people to read that. So yeah, so I'm enjoying running the group. I was having this tribal marketing thing today, which is something I've invented, but it's pretty much the same process as always. So it will relate to what I'm going to tell you today, in that I just like to have a bit of fun with my marketing, as you know. And I think with some of you that I've spoken to in person, well, all of you, in fact, you know, some of the comments are you seem to have a lot of fun with your marketing. So what I want you to think about today, if you're new to marketing, or you've done some marketing before, you've run a business before, or you've been online for a while and offline and you've been doing bits and pieces, is like, really, as I'm going through it, just start to tap into, you know, what you've enjoyed, what's got results. This is why we do the weekly review. So it's like, what did you enjoy, what got results, and what can you just stop doing? You know, I see people, loads and loads of people online, online coaches who have a social media calendar, and they're told to post 7 times a day and go to different groups. And I'm just like, they're all going to be burnt out in 6 months, because that's an unsustainable thing. So what you want is a model for your business and for your marketing and for your life that is sustainable. So I set, and I'm just going to share a little bit about my week. I shared my 25k week plan. And thought I'm going to do this Zumba party on Friday. So that's still going on. So if you want to share it again today, please do. If you haven't shared it yet, all the information's in this group and in the other Mavericks group. Write a testimonial for me. Talk about the shifts that you've made by working with me, and put a link to the Zoom, and we'll see how many people we can get on Friday. Get a really great community, whether you're there live or in the recording, and really start to help other people to create their vibrant vision. So if you feel a bit cheesy sharing it, just go like, the shifts that you've had with me, I want to get those out to more people. So I'm going to talk about the vibrant vision. I'm going to talk about letting go of an identity, which was a really powerful thing I did on live stream a couple of weeks ago, which people found really, really helpful. And then I've got my accountability buddy, I've got Emma Rocker, and I've got Annette from this group on there with me, and we're just going to have a bit of a party. So it's going to be a really beautiful event. So I want you to share it with everybody you think might want to make a shift in creating their own vibrant vision. So that's what we're doing. Hi Claire, hi Carol. So good afternoon everybody. So what I want you to do is get a nice big piece of paper, and we're going to map out some marketing stuff for you, because we've covered a lot of information in the last 10 days, unbelievably. Yeah, so what I decided for myself, let me finish this story. So I'm still going to do the Zumba, but I've actually taken all the pressure off selling anything this week because I'm tired. I got to today and went, yesterday. I saw the venues in the morning and I did the Zumba thing, and we had technical hitches, so I lay on the bed and did some Abraham Hicks, listened to some Abraham Hicks for a couple of hours yesterday afternoon. I just went, I'm absolutely knackered actually. So I'm taking all the pressure off myself for selling anything this week, so that already feels better. So my high divers are there. I will be calling them in at some point, but this week I want to serve you, I want to look after myself, I want to get the Zumba done, and I want to get some bits and pieces finished, and also really to have time to reflect on where I am and how much I've sort of brought in the last 4 weeks, because it's been crazy time. So I had a chat to my accountability buddy Laura, and I said we both need to just maybe have a breath and just look at where we're at and what we've done to really get it grounded before we go to the next stage. So that's where I'm at the moment. So my intention is still the same. It's the 5 high divers, but I've just elongated the time scale because I've gone, do you know, I can just chill out a little bit this week about everything. It's all beautiful. So that kind of answers the question. So about intentions. So yes, your intentions can change. They can expand. They can get bigger. You know, they can, if they don't feel right, you can tweak them at any point. You can tweak them on a Tuesday afternoon like I did yesterday. You don't have to wait for your weekly review. I just went, I'm putting all this pressure on and I'm feeling stressy about it. And actually, I just want to enjoy this week, because I want to enjoy every week and I don't want to put the pressure on. And the more I enjoy it, the more likely I am to bring those clients in anyway. So just start to use kind of how you feel about your business and your life as a kind of, I talk about barometer, but I don't even know if that's the right word, just as a kind of compass, you know, to guide you towards what feels right and what doesn't feel right. And the more you do this, the more fun and ease and flow you'll have in your business. And it's kind of tapping into yourself and how you feel about it. So I started to feel really overwhelmed and stressed out and just exhausted by everything that I'd created. So I went, do you know, I'm just going to take the pressure off. So I'm going to do the Zoom. I'm going to serve you guys. I'm going to carry on pottering around doing the event thing for November. And that literally is all I'm going to do this week. Feels better already. So, and it's a beautiful day, so I might go to the beach later, or I might just have a lie on the sofa and watch a film. Anyway, so big kiss marketing. Some of you have heard this before in my group. So what I want you to think about as we go through this is how this would relate to you. And then as usual, I'll have a question and answer at the end, so you can ask me anything if you need to clarify something. So I had a session with Denise on Monday, and we ended up, I know Denise quite well now, and I'm not going to say anything confidential about our session, but I can see when she gets in, because I talk really fast and I know a lot of information, I can see when people get a bit glazed and into a bit of overwhelm. So I started thinking, okay, let's draw this out. Let's draw this out as a graphic and see if that helps. And it absolutely revolutionised how she thought about marketing and her tribe and everything. So we're going to do a little bit of that for you today. So this is something I didn't invent this. Like, this has been around for a while, but it just kind of came up intuitively in the session on Monday, and I thought it might help. So the other thing I want you to think about is your journey with me. So you are all in this group because you've seen live streams. So I'm looking at the membership. I've got my laptop open, looking at the members list and seeing kind of how everybody came to me. So some of you are relatively new. You've only been in my sort of orbit for a couple of weeks. And others have been in my orbit for over a year and have actually bought things from me previously. So when you're thinking about like your own tribe, I just want you to think about your journey with me. Like how much I've helped you and how much I've taught you and how much I've served you and how different your life would be if I hadn't showed up. And yeah, you might have found another mentor. You know, if you're supposed to be on this journey, you'd probably be on it with somebody else. But, you know, when one of the things that stops everyone from showing up is the kind of fear behind it. And it's your ego trying to keep you safe. And I know I've talked about this before, but what I want you to do is take the focus away from you and towards the clients who really need you. So somewhere out there are a whole bunch of people who hate their bodies, a whole bunch of people that need their bookkeeping sorting out, a whole bunch of people that want to be more confident, a whole bunch of people who are going through a cancer or healing journey that want to have a real holistic spiritual self-healing approach. Not exactly sure what Mira is offering at the moment, sorry, so I can't talk about that, but you know, there's clients, potential clients out there waiting for you. So I've said this before, so if you're not sharing your gifts, you're not sharing your knowledge, you're not being visible to them so they can see you, you're doing them a disservice, because they're going to sit there flailing around. And I know, because I spoke to most of you at some point, that when you started working with me a little while ago, especially people that have had a couple of 2-hour intensives with me, like, life and business is very different now to how it was. Your perception of life is very different. Your perception of what's possible is very different. You've seen my own journey and you go, oh my God, the only difference is I'm a bit further ahead on the journey. So all this is possible for you. So what I want you to think about is like how you're actually, you know, keeping your knowledge to yourself, and that's not good for the world. That's not doing anyone a service or a favour. So, you know, it's time for you all to step up and start sharing. So, the big kiss model. Sorry, I've got a bit of croak in my throat today. I've got my lemon water, so I apologise, but there you go. So, big kiss stands for, number one, the big. I thought of this when I was walking around the headlands. So I used to do the build your tribe, nurture your tribe, blah, blah, blah. And I just went, I want a nice acronym as usual. So it's Big Kiss Marketing, which made me laugh. So the BIG, if you want to write it down, is build your inspiring group. Okay, so that's what you want to do to start with. Every single person that's in this group program came from my Mavericks group. Every single one. So I didn't actually offer this group program outside of my Mavericks group. I mentioned it a couple of times. I put a couple of posts out there, but I did nothing to actively sell it. I just thought I'll pop it in the group, the other groups I'm in, and see what happens. And the answer was a big fat nothing, because these people are not invested in me. They know about me, and some of them were you commenting on it or liking it or something. But I sell to people in my tribe. So what I call my tribe are people in my group, like you, in the Magnificent Mavericks group. People who I meet in Bournemouth, people who are connected with me, who are kind of on the same wavelength. So I wanted to clear this up. So so when I had the session with Denise, she said she didn't have a tribe, but what she has is a network. So I was kind of thinking, well, how do I clear this up? So she's got thousands of friends, as most of you will have, loads of friends on Facebook. You've got loads of people in your phone book. You know, once you're over 35, you've got loads of people you've met in the past, people you've met in previous jobs, people that you've met through your kids, people that you've met, etc. They are not all your clients. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that some of them may well be your tribe, and some of those may well be your clients. So here's my little flow sheet for today, which you might want to copy. And it comes out backwards, but anyway. So you want to do 3 rectangles in a row. So if you've got a piece of paper, do 3 rectangles in a row, kind of left to right. And the left-hand one, this is your network. So if you're starting off like Claire is, new to business, so you haven't got a tribe, but you've probably got, oh, that light's really weird because I'm holding up a piece of paper. Maybe go orange. If you've got a network but you haven't actually got your tribe yet, this is your network. So lots of people around you in your network, they are your Facebook friends, they're your LinkedIn contacts, they're people who, you know, whose kids play with your kids, they're people in your phone book, people you used to work with, whoever they are, that's your network. Then what you want to be doing is creating, I'll call it a tribe, and in the big kiss, it's build your inspiring group. It's a G for group, but I couldn't put a T in with the acronym, it didn't work. So group or tribe. Now it doesn't have to be a Facebook group, but I would say a Facebook group's really brilliant because it's quick, it's easy, you can post in there in 2 minutes, you can do a 2-minute video, shove it in your group, you've inspired your group. It really doesn't take long. You can also build it through your website by having an opt-in, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. So what you want to do is you want to get the people that are interested in what you're saying from your network to your tribe. How do you do that? Value, that says backwards. You offer them something of value. So in between your network and your tribe, you offer them something of value. This can be a talk. So you go and do a talk to a group. It can be a webinar or a Zoom or a teleseminar where you get people's email addresses in exchange for some kind of presentation, some kind of motivational, inspirational, informational thing, depending what the core of your business is. This also goes for Carol B. If you're a bookkeeper, you are a bookkeeper, but you can start to go, here's your top 10 tips for doing your self-assessment form or whatever it is, and give it away, but get people's names and emails, because if you provide a service that a lot of people provide, but you also are a teacher and a trainer as well, that's something different that other people don't do. A lot of bookkeepers don't do videos, a lot of bookkeepers don't do training, a lot of traditional businesses don't do this method of marketing, and they are missing a trick, because you could be just building up potential clients through creating value and creating knowledge for them, things that will help. Now, one of the things is people think, oh my God, but if I do that, then they won't want to hire me. That's exactly the opposite. If you show your knowledge and you show what you know, like I'm teaching all the time out on Facebook, people don't implement it. They just go, God, that was really interesting. To get people to implement, they have to pay for a program. And even then, some of them don't finish it. So people will not take your knowledge and bugger off and use it necessarily. But what they'll do is they'll know that you know what you're talking about, and they'll have given you their name and email if it's an opt-in on your website, or they'll have joined your group on Facebook. So you can communicate with them in a two-way thing. So you're not waiting for them to get in touch when they're, in January when their tax return's due. You can get in touch with them in advance, and you can be in charge and in control of the relationship, and that's really powerful stuff. So here's your network, everybody you know. You want to filter the people who are interested in what you're saying by offering something of value. So whether that is, like I say, it can be an audio, it can be an ebook, it can be a teleseminar, it can be an MP3. Annette's got a meditation MP3 on her website. It can be something you put in a pinned post in your group on Facebook if you want to do it on Facebook. You can have an event that you invite people to in your local community and collect all their details. So there's a whole bunch of ways you can create value. And what I want you to do is create value in a way that really suits you. Are you a speaker? Are you a writer? Do you want to do some kind of guided thing for people to download? Really think about, when are you at your best, and what would your clients find of value? When I had my other business, Happy Nurses, I literally had a PDF, one-page PDF, 21 happiness tips that was beautified by my graphic designer. It was gorgeous. People printed it out. They put it in their office. They stuck it on the wall. It was so simple that it went out to loads of people, because it was just one page and it was beautiful to look at. So it doesn't have to be complicated. But what that does is it gets people from your network into your tribe. Then, as you can see, smiley faces and love, because your tribe should be people who are aligned with you. It's a happy place to be. You're creating value, you're inspiring them, and you're teaching them, and it's full of love, because all our businesses are. The way to get them from your tribe into a client is via a call. And that's it. That's your 3 rectangles. So they can go from your network to your tribe by offering them something of value. And that could be a discovery call as well, to be honest. It could be a call for both. Some people might go from your network to straight into a client if they really like Carol B. If they meet you and they're absolutely ready for a bookkeeper, that could be a one-step thing. With a lot of us, because our offers are a little bit more ethereal, if you like, it's a couple of stages. But for example, Annette saw me on a live stream. She'd never come across me before. She wasn't even in my network, and we worked this out, about 8 days later she invested in 2 hours coaching with me. So she was a paid client from nothing in just over a week. So it doesn't have to take long. If you're visible and you're offering something that people want and they resonate with you, it can be really fast, but you have to actually be visible. So does that make sense to everybody? So you start with your network, you filter them into your tribe. Some of your tribe will be your clients. Some of your tribe will never ever buy anything from you, and that's okay. Because I follow mentors that I've been following for a while, and I read their stuff. The reflection on my glasses today, and that's fine, and I'm never going to invest in them, I don't think, but I've learnt loads from them, and that's how this process works. That's how this model works. So don't try and sell things to everybody, but what you want to do is have some kind of offer, which is your package and program. Guess what? That the people that want that transformation can invest in your package and program. So that should be clear. So build your inspiring group. Then the KISS bit it's just a different way of saying exactly what's on that flow sheet. But that flow sheet might just, for those of you who are very visual, clear things up. So KISS, knowledge, K for knowledge. Share it, teach people. Teach, 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 teach. You can teach in a post. You can give a top tip. You can do a 2-minute video. It doesn't have to be a 1-hour live stream. So in the session on Monday, we were talking about marketing, and Denise was talking about time, and she's traveling, she's out in Australia. And I said, don't think you have to do it like me. You don't have to talk on live stream for an hour. Most people I know that do live streams, they're about 12 minutes. I just like to teach, you know, because I get into flow and I love it and I get the responses, and this model is really good for me. You do not have to teach for this long. You do not have to teach in this way if it doesn't suit you. So what I want you to do is think about, what could you teach your tribe? You know, if you were teaching them once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week, you would build your group. So Belinda, I think, was asking, how do I get more people to your group? You make your group worth joining. Like, if, you know, when I do my manifestation, that is a lot of time and energy for me. I put the ebook back in there that I wrote last year, so I don't have to rewrite that. I tell people it's on. I tag people in the group who've kind of drifted away, and I get the energy going. And that's how I get, and so that's what I did in order to lead people into this program. So, you know, run a challenge. It doesn't have to be a 30-day challenge. Do a 5-day creative challenge. Do a 5-day bookkeeping challenge. Do a 5-day love your body challenge. You know, make it easy, make it fun, make it high energy. And if you do it for like 3 weeks time, you start talking about, I'm running this challenge in my group. Or if you don't want to use the word challenge, pick a different word. You know, pick something that, you know, we're doing a 1-week love your body, you know, week, or we're creating our love your body manifesto, or whatever feels right for you, and start to brainstorm. So you've got your product and program at the end, but you want to get some excitement going in the meantime. The way I know to do it is by running what I call a challenge or a project or a high energy, lot of time and energy stuff thing in your Facebook group, and then you scoop out the people who have been really involved, or you make an offer, you make an offer, you make an offer so many times that people are sick of it, but they all know it's happening, and then people buy it on the back of that. So so that's what you do. So the KISS, acknowledge, share it. So you can do a challenge. You want to inspire people that life can be different. That's what your group's for. So whether you're teaching healing, whether you're talking about recovery from cancer, whether you're talking about loving your body, whether you're talking about bookkeeping, whether you're talking about self-confidence, you need to show them that A, you've lived the path. For me and for people on social media, it's really important that you're walking the talk. So you've lived the path, so you share a bit about your journey as well in the same way that I do. And you inspire them that life can be different. So you give them little tips in your group, or through your email list, through your email newsletter, through your teleseminars, whatever it is, through your talks locally. You give them little tips, but then you go, in order to have a real transformation, you invest in this package. Right, so you give them little tidbits, little breadcrumbs along the way that they can take, they can implement. They can go, oh, I've had some shifts already. I've made some changes. People that do my manifestation, it shifts their mindset about money. And then it's like, great, if you've enjoyed that, come with me on a longer journey, whether that's your 2-hour intensive, a group program, a workshop, a retreat, a half day, a 1 day. You know, there's all sorts of ways of packaging it up. But what they've had is they've had a taster of it. So you probably heard this before, you know, it's like you go to a supermarket, or you go to a deli, or you go to a farmer's market, and they've got little bits of cheese for you to try, and little bits of chutney for you to try, and little bits of whatever, because they know if you try it, you're like, wow, that cheese is incredible. You didn't even want cheese, but you're like, wow, we can always have cheese. So you buy it because you've had a taster of it. You have to give people a taster of your stuff. So I've said this to some of you before, like, if your group is just full of inspirational quotes that you've scooped out of other places online, they can get that anywhere. Your group needs to be about you. It needs to be about your specialty. It needs to be about your expertise, because ultimately you want to make money out of your group. That's the be all and end all. What you don't want in a Facebook group is to create more work for you to do that doesn't make you any money. So big KISS, build your inspiring group by giving them something for free, by running a challenge. It can be a Facebook group, it can be a LinkedIn group, it can be through an opt-in or a freebie on your website, however you feel that you can create it right now. Give them something of value. And then KISS is knowledge, share it. inspire them that life can be different. Then the first S is scoop them onto a call. You have to start having phone calls with people. Nobody in this paid for group bought this group without speaking to me. None of you. And I've spoken to some of you just as a get to know you call. I spoke to some of you as a discovery call over a year ago. I spoke to some of you at Mirrorly. We had contact last year, and then we've had probably a couple of calls since, because I've sent her a message going, I'd really love to know how you're getting on. And then we had a call on Friday evening before the program started, just like she was looking for solutions, and this program was available, and we popped her in. So every single one of you had a phone call. So if you think you can get clients without talking to people, either in person or on the phone, it's really difficult. In fact, impossible to just post stuff on Facebook and make money. It's not what people are looking for. So scoop people onto a call. How do you do that? You send them a message, a private message. Now, Claire is not a Facebook friend of mine. So I sent her some messages and went, oh, she's not getting back to me. And sometimes they end up in hidden folders, as you may know. So I replied to something in the group and said, by the way, I've sent you a couple of messages about having a call. And then she's like, oh, God, I haven't seen them. And we had a call. She's really amazing. And the sale was pretty much done on the first call, because we just clicked completely. So it's an absolute delight when you get the right people on the phone. It's an absolutely delightful experience, as you know, because some of you have had a call with me, some of you meet people out and about that you resonate with, and it should feel like that. If it doesn't feel like that, don't try and sell them something. Don't try and make money for the sake of money. What you want is the right people in your group program, the right people as your clients, the right people in your group even, because that keeps the energy clear, it keeps everybody on the right track, everyone's got the same values, and it's just much more positive than anything else. So you scoop them onto a call with you. I'd just like to have a chat to get to know you better. Some of you have had these messages from me. Oh, that's a train going past. And then the last piece is sell them something if they're a good match. So if you've got a great program and they're going, oh my God, I've got this problem right now and it's really bugging me. Some people I say, well, so I spoke to Carol B the very day I created this program. And I said, when we talked about her business, and she told me a lot about her life, and it was a beautiful phone call. And I just said to her, so, are you looking for any help or support at the moment? And what's your budget? And so we talked about the high divers, and that wasn't what she wanted. And I said, well, I'm just creating this group today actually, and I think it's exactly what you need. And by the time I'd done a live stream at 5 o'clock, that was it. Job done. Because I took time to find out about all of you, about where you are in your life and your business, what you're looking to do. And I have to be the right solution right now for it. And if not, that's fine. There's no sale to be done. And some people I made the offer to, and they're like, I've asked my angels and it doesn't feel quite right now. And I'm like, that's cool. It's got to feel right. Because I don't want people, in the group who aren't doing the work, and everybody's like hit the ground running, which has been amazing. So this is exactly the right group of people. So that's basically how the kissing works for your tribe. So you build your inspiring group and tribe, you share your knowledge, K, you inspire them that life can be different, you scoop people onto a call who are people that are commenting on a lot of stuff, people that are liking a lot of stuff, people that are interacting with you. They're the people you get onto a call because they're hot to trot. Whether they've got any money or not doesn't really matter, because what you can do is just get to know them, and you get to know your tribe really well. So when I'm thinking of putting an offer together, I know who you all are, so I can go, yeah, this is pretty much what they need. Because I'm further down the track, I can forget what you need at the beginning, but because I talk to you a lot, I know what you need, so it doesn't make it very difficult for me. And then you have to be confident speaking to people on the phone and then making an offer. If they're looking for help, and in your gut that you got the answer, whether that's, like I say, a Skype call, a workshop, a group program, whatever you've created, if you feel that they're a good match for you and you've got the solution, you just say, okay, well, are you looking for help right now? Because here's your options. And that's it. And you let go of whether they say yes or not, because they have to be all in for your transformation. So that's about it, really. Big kiss marketing. So any feedback, any questions, anything you'd like me to clarify on that process? So what you want to do, if you're new to this or you're just getting in it, get your group going. if your group's gone a bit flat, tag people in and do some 5-day challenge next week or the week after. Think of something and get some excitement going. Get excited yourself. Reach out to people, send them messages, ask them if you can just have a chat to get to know them, book them in the diary, start to interact with your group, start to share your amazing knowledge. You've all got incredible knowledge. Don't hoard it. Be generous with it. And start getting on the phone with people, start connecting with people on a one-to-one, because it's really powerful. And for me, it's really enjoyable, because even if I spoke to 5 people in a day that had no money, I could sit at home on my own doing nothing, or I could speak to 5 lovely people. What would I rather do? I'd rather speak to 5 lovely people than sit here doing nothing. So for me, it's a joy. So that's what I'd encourage you. Yeah, exactly. And look at the aha you've had already, Carol. So exactly. So it wasn't like, so even though I was selling a program, I was actually saying, okay, so here's you now, here's what my group can offer, and here's what I believe you'll be like at the end of it. So I want you to really be clear on what you offer. So Carol, I think you had this beautiful thing. You create organization out of chaos or something like that. That phrase is like, people that are crazy creatives like us, we're too busy creating big vision things to do our paperwork and our accounts, right? So you are the solution to somebody's problem. All of you are the solution to somebody's problem. And when you're clear that they have that problem and that they have the money to pay you, and that they are ready to change right now, that's when you make a sale. And it really doesn't have to be that difficult if those bits are matched up. So any more questions or comments or anything I can clear up for you on the big kiss thing? Gosh, that was only half an hour. I'm getting more efficient. So what I can do, I can photograph this and put it in the group anyway, but I think this is quite useful just to go, you start with a network, you build your tribe, you get your clients. And some of these clients will be high-end clients as well. So you can put a tiny little box at the end of that for people that want, you know, your highest level offer, because some people don't want a low-level group. They want to come in at the top. So that's why you always need 2 tiers of offer. Any other questions, comments, or anything that I can help you with about the big kiss marketing? Thank you. If all is good, then all is good. Any questions, ladies? And gent, Scott, when you're watching this back, I won't leave you out. Okay, so in the right place. So do you mean kind of energetically, belief-wise? Do you mean geographically? I'm guessing you mean kind of energetically. So this is where the woo-woo bit comes in. So yeah, so that's the very practical piece of it. Now the energetic piece, you're welcome. The energetic piece is about feeling whether your offer is aligned with you. So I listened to a load of Abraham Hicks yesterday, and what they say is alignment trumps everything. So we have to be aligned with our offer. Your offer has to feel really good. So this week the 25k offer doesn't feel right because I'm not in the right energy. I'm in the right energy of serving and playing and having fun. I'm not in the energy of selling a high-end program, but I know it's coming. So that's fine. I've taken the pressure off. But actually I don't need to sell this week because I've got money in the bank. So there's not any urgency about it. Yeah, absolutely. So it has to feel right. Your offer has to feel aligned with you. Your offer has to feel aligned with your clients, or they won't buy it. You have to feel aligned with your offer. So what I want you to think about is like now, and just be very aware of this if you're new to this kind of way of working, is that sometimes when we go, oh, I'm not in the mood for it, that's just fear and procrastination and resistance. So what I would say is, you know, get used to showing up and sharing stuff so there's 2 ways of doing it, and I've learned from different mentors. One of them, so consistency is important in showing up, online or offline, consistency. For some people, consistency means you do your e-zine on a Monday, you do a live stream on a Tuesday, you do a this on a Wednesday, you do this on a Thursday, right? Or you have themed days or whatever. That's what consistency means for some people. I've tried to do that, and I can't be doing with it. Consistency for other people means showing up when you're fully aligned and fully lit up. So the other day when I launched this program, I started at 5:30 in the morning with the idea, and I finished the last messenger message at 10:30 at night. So that was a 17-hour day for me. That's really unusual, as you know. I don't really do that. But I was fully on fire that day, and my God, we got the results. But I wouldn't be doing that every day, because that's not normal, and that's not how I work. So it's going with your energy, going with your alignment, but also going, if it feels out of kilter, like if you have too many days where it doesn't feel right, or you haven't done any marketing, or you haven't shown up, you need to look at that. Like, is your offer right? Are your tribe right? Do you even care what you're doing? Because sometimes we just get slightly off track and we go, I'm not bothered about this. That's why no one's buying it, because they'll feel it if you're not interested. So the other thing is to really get into, and this is why I've been talking, and we're going to do Woo Woo Week next week. This is why I talk about meditation and journaling, which Carol B has found a massive revelation to her, because it gets you in the state where you can really tap into your intuition more and feel how things feel. Like, does this offer feel right for me? Does this group feel right? Is this right? And then you suddenly have some download about a program, and it will be sold by the afternoon. Right, and this is why the woo-woo parts, the intuitive parts, the meditation, the journaling, the clearing out the crap, the getting in tune with who you truly are is so important, because you can feel the difference. So you might have heard this before, but you know, when you're a kid, if you've got kids, you've probably played this game. You know, blindfold them, or they've got their eyes shut, and you hide something, and they play it. You go cooler, cooler if they're further away, warmer, warmer if you're near it. The nearer you get to your alignment and your real true offer, the better it'll feel. If it feels off and wonky, it could be just because you're a bit hormonal like I am this week. It could be that, you know, the wording's not right, or, you know, that it's too detaily, or actually it's just not quite the right offer. So this is why the weekly review is great, because we can tweak it. But you can also tweak it at any point. You can tweak it on a Thursday morning, a Tuesday afternoon, or a, you know, Sunday tea time. If things don't feel right, you can just tweak them. So consistency can be showing up regularly with a routine, if that suits you. And it can also be, cool, that's a text come through. It can also be showing up when you're fully in alignment and in flow, which I try to do that. Now, when I'm running my group, so in my Facebook group, I tend to show up pretty much every day, but I always have something to say. I've always got something to teach. And actually that to me is really easy. Quite often it's quite early. So I get up in the morning and I put my phone on and I have my lemon water, and I've put my first post on Facebook. Well, sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning, but, you know, at 7 o'clock. And then I'm out and about and doing my stuff, and I've already done my marketing. You know, it doesn't have to take long to post a little post, or do a 2-minute video, or to just share something, a thought that you've had, or a part of your journey. It really doesn't have to take long. That's why I love Facebook, because it's so instant, it's quick, and it's easy. So yeah, so it can be that you want a routine. It can be that you just want to do it when you feel really great about it. But if you go for too long without sharing anything, or without showing up, something's not right in your offer, or your marketing, or your group, or, you know, if you don't feel really enthusiastic about serving your tribe, there's something amiss somewhere. That's all I'm saying. Okay, if it doesn't feel, yeah, perfect. As individuals, you know, so many hours in the day. Yeah, now the interesting thing with that, Carol, is I have lots of time. So I don't have kids, and I don't have a house to look after, and I don't have, well, I have a cat that wanders backwards and forwards. I have to feed him every now and again if my housemate's not here. So, you know, my job is my marketing and serving my clients and looking after myself. That really is my job. And my marketing doesn't take very long. So even though people say to me, oh God, you're really busy, and I have had quite a full-on 3 weeks, but actually I'm not very busy. What I am is very visible. So if I go to the beach, I'll take some pictures and share them on social media. You know, I'll do a live stream quite often, maybe 2 or 3 a week. So quite often, now they're in this closed group, but I'll be doing some more out and about. But even when I was doing them on my page or in my Mavericks group, that's 2 or 3 hours a week of marketing in my live streams. It's 10 minutes first thing in the morning on Facebook. It really doesn't take long. So I only do, so here's where the weekly review comes in. It's looking at, so what have you done in your marketing this week, and what worked? What did you enjoy and what worked? Because if you get that right, you only probably have to do 3 different things. You only have to network with a couple of groups. You have a process by which you go to a group or you do a talk, and then you collect the emails while you're there, and then you follow them all up, and you know that you'll get X number of clients out of it. And if you're already serving enough clients, then you know, if you're busy serving clients, you have to look at how efficient you can make your marketing. And this is why I like having a freebie or an opt-in, because you can stick it on your website, create something like 10 top tips for doing your self-assessment form, and you get people's name and emails address. They can download it instantly. They can work through it together. You're kind of building your tribe or your group automatically through your website, and it doesn't take any time at all. But you have to get people to your website, and that's a whole nother talk. But there are ways of automating it. So I do very little automation at the moment because I like the personal touch, and it works for me. It fulfills me as a person, and it gets the results. But we are going to be automating more stuff. So the Zumba party is going through my website so that I get names and email addresses to build my list outside of Facebook. But yesterday we had a technical glitch because the two pieces, the bit that does the sign-in page and then the Aweber that creates the email responses, weren't communicating with each other. But that's not my job. I don't do that piece of it. So it's frustrating for me going, if I just did it all on live stream, I'd be in control of it and I'd know what was happening. So there's pros and cons to everything, really. So yeah, so the thing is, the other thing, Carol, is if you've got enough clients and enough money, you can stop marketing in a massive way, but you always want to be visible and be out there to people. If you're really tight for time, maybe you need to look at how much you charge. Maybe you need to look at the level of clients. Maybe you want more retainer clients and fewer one-offs. However you organize your business, so that actually you're making more money in less time. Because what we don't want to do is create a job for ourselves where we have to turn up 40 hours a week to serve our clients. That just doesn't really work. So yeah. So you can look at that with your weekly review, is how much time you spend marketing, how much time you spend fulfilling things for your clients, and actually which bits of your marketing actually work to bring in the clients. Because I just got to the stage where, because I spend so much time in Facebook, in my group, every single penny I make into my business pretty much comes from Facebook. So even though I met Sophie at a networking event, what swayed her was coming into the group and seeing the live stream that I did the day I met her. And then I did a talk outside. So there was a couple of outside contacts with her. But most of everything I make comes from my Facebook group, because I hang out there a lot. So it works, so I hang out there more. So I'm really good at using Facebook, so I hang out there more, so I make more money through Facebook, etc. So what you're good at, where are your tribe hanging out? Everyone hangs out on Facebook anyway, but if you don't like Facebook or you don't get it, then you don't have to use it. But what you do need is some way to get your network into your tribe, to serve them, give them something of value, get them onto a call, and to convert them into clients. You have to have some kind of process, and the more efficient that is, the less time it takes. And the more money you charge, the fewer clients you need to make the same money. Beautiful. I hope that answers your question, Carol. If you've got anything more specific, just post it in the group, because there's a limit to the amount you can really type in here. Any more questions and comments about Big Kiss marketing? So you need your product and program, your offer at the end of it, whether it's a group or a workshop or a Skype call or whatever. You need a tribe, so that's a group online or offline, people who actually are interested in what you're saying, but they've not necessarily paid you yet. And to get them from one to the other, you have a call with them. To get them from your general network into your tribe, you need to offer them something of value, whether that's a teleseminar, a webinar, a talk, a discovery call, a challenge in your group, whatever feels right for you. And it's really good fun building your tribe and having a little fan club and having people that follow you, and having people like yesterday, seeing who'd shared my their transformation with me online and tagged me in and shared the Zumba party. It was great. And so I lay on the bed for 2 hours with my Abraham Hicks thing going on while the techie stuff was sorted out. And when I came back onto Facebook, I had like 4 or 5 people that had shared my stuff, and they were getting the Zumba party out there. So I'm like, that's how it was supposed to work, the tribal marketing. So it's beautiful. You're welcome, Carol. And like I say, if you want to do a slightly shorter version of the email you sent me, that would be beautiful for people to read, because I think it's a lot of people's stories in the group. Anyone else? Any other questions or comments or anything about Big Kiss marketing while I'm here? So I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow at 12 o'clock on journaling. So I've had a lot of questions about journaling. So for me, journaling is just writing stuff down, right? So it's not terribly mysterious, but I want to talk about some of the ways that I journal, some of the ways I use written stuff to clear my head out, to make decisions, some of the things that I don't actually do, but other mentors teach. So I want you to have a broad range of options for your journaling. So we have a lot of questions about that. So I'm going to do a bit more about journaling tomorrow at 12 midday. So anything else about Big Kiss marketing before I go and have some lunch? Okay, so I'm assuming that that was clear as a bell. So, brilliant. Any other questions, post them in the group. But yeah, so you need to be clear on your offer. You need to get your network into your tribe by offering something of value. You get them from your tribe to a client by having a call with them, and just have fun with it. Do what works for you. Do what you like. Do what's fun. And if you're finding yourself doing loads and loads of stuff, loads of networking or loads of stuff online that isn't really working, just stop doing it. Do the 2 or 3 things that really work for you, and you'll just free up a lot of time and have a lot more fun with it. So brilliant. See you tomorrow at 12, everyone, and get this process mapped out for you, because it really will change everything and it'll just be so clear. So see you tomorrow. Have a lovely afternoon. Bye bye.